today's video, I answer the question, what are your favorite books to read? What are the must-reads that you would encourage aspiring property investors or property investors to read as they grow in their particular journey? And it's really an honor to answer this particular question because there's so many books that I read, there's so many books that I listen to from end to end, but the books that have really just had a significance on me and then some are the books that I will share today, because if I had to share everything, we'd be here for a very, very long time. But nonetheless, my name is Genevieve Stafford Jack and welcome to my channel. The first and obvious book, as many of you may know, is that I'm a Robert Kiyosaki fan. And the reason I'm a Robert Kiyosaki fan is because of this book. This is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So many people on YouTube and other places alike have also got different summaries about this book. But this particular book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what it did for me is really just to unearth and challenge some of my financial literacy that I'd had. You see, I'd gone as far as matric, which is grade 12, and there was no money in the house to actually study further. So the basics of accounting that I know literally came from business economics, because that was one of the subjects that I had taken at school, and everything else that I'd learned along the way. But I find that one of the most important things I learned from my mom's, in fact, is that always have a budget, right? Because at the end of the day, you are going to get money every month. This money that you're going to get from your salary, you need to know what you're going to do with it, because you'll spend it frivolously if you don't have that particular mindset of operating with your budget. So the budget is something I've held very, very close to my heart. And then when I got a hold of this book more than a decade ago, I thought to myself, what made Robert Kiyosaki name this book Rich Dad, Poor Dad? Because at the end of the day, most of what I got from here was financial literacy. It was accounting. Until I heard his story, he's like, you know what? Who's going to read about, another accounting book? But instead to teach you from where he learned about a number of different principles. So in this particular book, what I do believe it's done, it is literally unearthed the different mindsets, the different myths all around finance. And right now, we teach our children different. We teach them, understand what is happening in life. Get the education, but do not depend on getting a good job so you can get a good salary. But instead, learn how to make money work for you. And that for me is my top lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. My second book is from a guy called Gary Keller. Now, Gary Keller, I found over time his books are a really nice, easy read, and I'm able to consume and actually get the picture of the way he puts things. And in this book called The Millionaire Real Estate Investor, I got that particular book on Audible. It's just Audible is an app where you listen to the book from end to end, not the summary of a book. And so he reads through this book and shares from this book. And what I found fascinating that I've taken away from that particular book is that the real estate investors that are out there looking for deals, they often find their property deals using a real estate agent. That is just the biggest component, the biggest chunk of leads come from real estate agents. And what I did was a video yesterday, I'll link it on top, and that talks about my top strategy and why I learned to harness relationships with real estate agents, because I'm wanting to say, if there's some deals that you really don't like and you don't want to put those pictures online, I may be one person you may call before you start marketing. And that is the relationship that I've built over the last 3 years and then some. But that is the magical tip that I had taken from the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, because I thought to myself, if this is the biggest way to do my lead generation, I should harness that. After all, I am a people's person. After all, I get to talking with people and connecting with people. And through this journey of property investing, I've also learned to talk less because I got one mouth and to listen a lot more because of two ears. So in that particular book, I had taken that away. And yes, there's a lot of other nuggets, but that is my prime nugget. The third book is more of a mindset book. It's called Mind Power. I had the privilege of being in a training course with Robin and with John. It was John's last tour that he was doing, and it was the most amazing thing. I never thought that in one room, over 600 people, we could all literally just be of one vibration. And in this book, I learned about healing ourselves and how powerful this is. Our body, sometimes we don't give it the benefit of the doubt. In this book, I learned that if, for example, you hear you are ill, this is the illness that you have, the first thing you do is strike into panic and you think, oh my God, I'm going to die. And look, I'm not saying that it's not validated, but what I'm saying is that if there's something as simple as that is called a health tonic, which is what I had learned from this particular book. So what I'd learned from this particular book, it's called Healing Ourselves. And in here, it talks about a 2-minute health tonic. So just a very, very quick read, he says, every day spend several minutes bathing, right? Literally bathing in thoughts. You see what I did there? Literally bathing in thoughts, telling your arm, I love you, you are strong, you are healthy. Bathing in thoughts of health and strength. Send those thoughts into your bloodstream, into the tissues, your cells. Imagine energy flow right through your body. Experience your body as a miraculous healing mechanism. This exercise is an invigorating health tonic, and all it does, it takes 2 minutes. You see, when I am not feeling well, I remind myself, body, you need to carry me. Body, you are strong. I believe in you. And it's the simple things as talking to my body, right? One of the meditations that I do before sleeping was I touch my heart and I literally say, my heart and my mind need to be in sync. And then I set intentions for the next day. When my heart and my mind are in sync, your breathing is a lot more easier. Your thoughts are here with what you are doing. And you remind your body, thank you for helping me through this day. Thank you for taking me through this amazing day. Simple conversations do I have. But for me, what I believe is that having my heart and my mind synced up, I then sleep with the thought that tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. Tomorrow I'll create a video on YouTube, short and succinct, so that somebody that's listening can take away a message that particular day. And before I get to doing any recordings, you know what I do? I go into like a little mad frenzy. Like 5 minutes before this, I listen to a song that will get my blood boiling, like excited, and I articulate myself and I get excited. Why? So that when you put the video on, you don't just get something like this in the beginning of the video. You get energy from word one. Why? Because I want to be on this vibration, sharing with you, so that you are interested to stay and to learn, right? Because that's what this channel is all about. It's about learning, and it's about me sharing so that you can learn and that I can learn from you. I would love to hear from you down in the comments. Do you meditate? Or do you pray? So you could just say, yes, I pray, or yes, I meditate. Because I believe that prayer and meditation are not the same thing. Meditating is getting yourself quiet, right? Quiet so that you can hear from your source. But praying is me opening this channel up to saying, Lord, please take me through this particular day. So I'm opening up this conversation. So if I open up the conversation in prayer, should I not be silent when I'm hearing from above, right? I don't know about you, but that gets me excited. And if it gets you excited, I want you to smash on the like button while I introduce my last book for this particular video, that we are doing a book review or a must read, the favorite books, whichever way that you would love to call it. Dun, 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 dun. It's called Shift, also by Gary Keller. So Gary Keller has become one of my favorites. Yes. So at the beginning of the year, I tapped into the space of wanting to become a real estate agent and just understand a little bit more on the other side of life about being a real estate agent. And it was also going to, the way I'd structured things, take my sourcing business to a different level. with COVID that hit and whatnot, I decided I'm going to pause, but I did not pause learning. Because you see, this book teaches you tricks and tactics on how to deal with the times such as we are in right now. And I'm like, thank you, Tanya Scott. You are amazing. Because you know what? Tanya gifted me this book and I have been soaking in it. I mean, in this book, there is one of the things that I wanted to read. I mean, think about tactic number 1. Tactic number 1 says, get real, get right, and mindset in action. Like, it's just like ba 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 ba. So at the end of the day, here we go. So at the end of the day, I'm thinking to myself, if I need to prioritize where I'm going to or how much I spend, if I don't do any of that stuff, somebody else is going to budget my money for me. I don't like that. I don't like that. So far, all the tactics are really good, right? But the first tactic for me was like, okay, you literally telling me to get real with yourself, look at yourself in the mirror. What ish have you been doing now? Okay? And then you're telling me to get my A into G, get my ass into gear, so that I can literally set out a plan to move forward. Because if I don't do that, somebody else is going to do that. If I don't get real and I don't get right with where I am, somebody else is going to define that part for me. And you know what? Jenna don't like that. So in today's video, I trust that those little nuggets that are taken out of these books will be able to help you and also encourage you that when you are looking for books to read, what books would you read and why would you read those books? I also want to hear from you down in the comment below. What are your favorite books and why? So thank you so much for staying until the end of this video. And if you're one of the people that are saying, Jen, I really need to get this education thing right in terms of property investing, I want to say go down in the comments below, in the description. I'll also pin it on the comment below. And click on the link. There is a free over 3 hours of content that you'll be able to go through that we had gone through in the beginning of COVID, the COVID lockdown level 5 in South Africa in March. That's the training that we had done. So the training is still fresh, still quite top of mind, and you can learn about the deal life cycle and how you can get into property investing. Thank you so much for your time. I cannot believe we're just days away from ending the 30-day challenge, but nonetheless, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can get notified every time I post a video. So take good care and be safe.